it looks like Nightbot said no. Nightbot disagrees with you too. Looks like it's 2 against 1. Yeah, we're gonna get spooky videos and like we're gonna watch a lot of spookiness, you know. Ooh, spooky. Yeah. What's this all about?
As soon as I come through, I let that chop off.
She took her mom's life. Oh. Oh. Well then. All right. This went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Pow! Pow! That's not a chopper sound. I'm sorry. As soon as I come through, I kill everybody. We killing one person. No, we kill everybody.
Why would you ever do that to your own mother who literally brought you into this world, you know? That's my question to ask. Why?
When I'm in the club, I make it rain. I'm gonna paint that.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the girl and the mother that you just saw in that video, apparently, reportedly, as of late, 2 days ago specifically, on September 12th, 2025, the 16-year-old girl seen in that video, well, I believe she was 14, really, but I'll show you updated video soon, was reportedly arrested for brutally shooting and killing her mother, reportedly firing multiple times, leaving her grandmother confused and shook up a whole Texas community. And before I go any further into the story, I just want to say, you know, this is becoming a more increasingly frequent occurrence between children and their parents, because it just seems like nowadays a lot of kids just don't have any basic respect for their not only parents but any adult figure in the community. It's like the lines have been blurred with teachers, law enforcement, parents, old ladies, old men. It's just like these kids are highly disrespectful. They have no respect.
Well, that's what happens when you don't discipline your child at the end of the day, you know, and show them how you're supposed to respect older people.
Or regard for authority, and they just feel like they can run around doing anything they want.
Who say she allegedly shot and killed her mother, 34-year-old Tia Moya Moore. One family member told me she's not only heartbroken but confused.
The last couple of days I've been feeling like I'm losing my mind. I was questioning, like, why? Why would you do this to your own mama? I just can't believe she's gone, for real.
Now, I did a little bit of digging, a little bit of investigative journalism. And based off of the material that I was able to find on this 16-year-old girl's TikTok page and Instagram page, it's clear as day and evident as to why she actually was provoked into actually shooting and killing her own mother. You know, on this one video, she...
Oh, I can't wait to hear this, to be honest. I'd be very curious to see what actually drove her to this.
posted her TikTok page, you know, trying to be grown, obviously in a sexual type of position with her phone in the mirror. Somebody in the comment section said, "Why did you shoot your mama?" And obviously anybody with room temp IQ knows that a 16-year-old girl doing this in a mirror like this, in this type of position, alludes to the fact that she's involved in activities she shouldn't be at this type of young.
I'm gonna be honest with you, if I see my daughter doing that, I'm gonna be like, I'm not even just gonna smack her with a chancla. I'm gonna bring her 10 times force down of the fucking void itself. I will slap the stupidity out of her, and I'd be like, "You're 16 years old. Stop acting like you're fucking 25, okay?"
Young age. You know, other videos that I've seen from her allude to the fact that she was out here trying to be grown, you know, tatted, pierced up, you know, twerking in a Benz. I don't even know.
Ew. 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 Twerking at 16? Ew, dude, that's nasty, dude. I don't know. I find that fucking weird. She acts like a woman walking the streets. Yeah, she does. She looks like she does belong to the streets, you know? I'm like, instead of like actually being a sophisticated, like actually educational smart woman or so, she decides to choose this, you know? Like this specific like lifestyle, you know?
How she was able to afford a Mercedes-Benz, as what you can see she's posted up in right here. You know, she's got the whole aesthetic of a young college girl, 19, 18, 20, 21. And I mean, posting content like this tells me everything I need to know about the situation. She was young, she's rebellious. Her mom probably tried.
It's her rebellious stage. If my child tries to do rebellious stage with me, oh, chat, you know for a fact I am locking them up in the Necronomicon for so many years. You have no idea. I am locking them up in the Necronomicon. You won't see them for the next 20 billion years until they get that shit out of their mind.
to clamp down on this type of activity. And as you may know, in this current society, in this current culture,
We don't have a
young
shadow
girls
realm, we
like
have a
this do
void.
not like to be told what to do by a mother, by a father, and any authoritative.
No, it's not fatherless behavior, because you want to know something? I don't have a dad. I never had a dad most of my life. It's literally just parenting behavior. That's it. It's just literally just straight up no parenting. I was raised by my mom, and that's it. You don't see me doing this shit though. I've never done any of this when I was like 16, you know. That was like many millennia. But like I've never did any of this shit.
Figure. Like, check this out.
He say I'm pretty. If you love me, better die for this kitty.
Better die for this kitty. That's crazy at 16. And even, yo, this is sad as fuck. I think I'm the first one to see this. Her own mother commented, she's now dead by the way, saying, delete this, with some kind of like shameful type emoji. Then the girl said, no mama, it's cute. So
That's cute? You find that cute? That's not cute. That is literally not cute whatsoever. That's literally not cute. I don't know who says that is cute, to be honest. Just because you're an exceptionally cool doesn't mean lesser girls don't flip their shit if they don't have a father. The problem is, it's not even just that or so. It's just literally parenting itself. Literally, my mama Azathoth came at us with a fucking iron fist or so when my dad was not nowhere in my life or any of my siblings' life. She was the one that stepped up and played both roles, you know? Now, did she do an amazing job? No, of course not. You know, she did some faults at the end of the day, you know? But she was still better than, like, any of these other parents that you see what's happening right now. You know for a fact the mom literally did not discipline the child.
you already know the dynamic between the daughter and the mother.
If I was doing this when I was 16 years old, you know for a damn fact I'm getting my ass beat for looking like this, to be honest. Because you want to know something? You know who dresses up like this and who does stuff like this? Girls on the street. That's all I gotta say, you know? Like literally the girls that, belong in the streets, and everything like that. This is that type, Mama is not afraid to throw a brick at her offsprings. No, like literally she fucking threw bricks at my goddamn older brothers who are half blood related to me if they started acting like little shits. Like she even brought a fucking broom or so and literally smacked the shit out of my older brothers for being a dumbass, Like I'm saying, that's the difference or so. You gotta discipline your kids. If you don't discipline your kids and they start doing this shit, to be honest, it's crazy, Like for me personally, right? There will be a boiling point if my child does not want to follow or like literally not understand what I'm trying to tell it to do, and they're still doing this. If I catch them doing this, you know for a fact they're getting disciplined.
And this daughter, surprisingly, shockingly, just so happens to end up killing her own mother a year later, because this was posted last year in June. Like again,
I bet you she's probably gonna get tried for she's gonna get trialed for I don't know how old is she, She'll probably be in juvie for quite some time, and then I assume afterwards she'll go to jail. Unless like you're tried as an adult for killing somebody, then.
He said I'm pretty. If you love me, better die for this kitty.
See, the thing is, I don't want to blame the mom. She's now dead. I want to be very respectful to the dead and people who pass away. But the actions of how you raise your children in this day and age, in this social media age, where people are trying to seek validation by any means necessary, especially young girls trying to fit in, who become rebellious, who don't even have a male figure in the house or a father figure.
As someone that's also a single mother, this is too much. It's understandable. It's understandable. Like, I completely understand. Honestly, I respect all the single moms, to be honest, to raising their kids properly, I actually give you props. My ex, literally one of my exes or so, she has, I think, about like 3 or 4 kids, and she's a single mom. But I do question, the way how she, like, I wouldn't say question like as in a bad way or so, questioning as in like Why haven't you taught your kids to do this, to do that, you know? As in like certain things to help you out, you know? Because they're starting to, you know, they're starting to get older now. You know, they're starting to get into elementary school. Because you want to know something? For me specifically, me and my siblings or so, right? The ones that are full blood related to me. Mama Azathoth literally taught us to clean and pick up our own stuff at a super young age, you know? But the problem is with my ex or so, I went to go visit her place. All I gotta say is, it literally looked like a tornado literally hit the entire room. And the worst part about it too, I saw a roach come out of a garbage pile, and I was just like, I wanted to leave so badly. Like I wanted to, it fucking, ooh, it was just like, ah! I just wanted to scream so much. And I was like, I do not want to be here. No siree, dude, no siree. I thought I lived pretty, well, actually I say I lived pretty badly or so, but the problem is like I have like a big giant sheet or so because my older brother, who's half blood related to me, literally hasn't finished the ceiling, so I can't organize my room or clean my room, so I can only clean my like computer station and my bed. That's it, because I don't have access to like almost like half of my room. But there's no bugs in here. There's like literally no bugs in here. The only time I ever had bugs or so is because the ceiling was open and they covered up the ceiling now. Now there's no bugs in here anymore, so well, it's not like heavy bugs or anything like that. It's like little flies or so, and like maybe like I think there was like scorpions. There were scorpions in here, yeah. So there was like a couple scorpions that showed up in here, very randomly, and that's pretty much about it. Mama threw in a full unopened Coke can at me once because I kept talking back to her. She missed, but I never did it again. Yeah, of course. It's like it gets to a point when there's like a boiling point or so where like, you know, you've had enough of the kids' shenanigans, you know? Like I'm not saying to like always beat your kids to do when they do something bad or so. No, like if they keep constantly repeating it and keeps pushing your buttons over and over and over again, then you either, you know, you got to sit down and talk to them. And if they still keep doing it, then you start raising, you know, the bar and be like, okay, I've asked you multiple times, but you seem to not understand what I'm telling you and what you're getting. And now it's time to bring out the chancla, the wooden spoon, the bamboo, or the belt, or wires, or a fucking brick if you're Mama Azathoth. If you're Mama Azathoth, you know, it's probably a brick at the end of the day. So that's probably like the only thing, you know. You can take whatever away from them and they either find a way around it or do dumb shit. I think also who you let your kids who you let your kids surround themselves with can also play a role too. That can be. That's what Mama Azathoth had a worried about, because I used to hang out with the rocker goth kids / scene kids. But the funny thing about it is like they were anime nerds. Everyone was anime nerds back then. And my mom thought, you know, because like she came up or so in a timeline or so where that specific thing equals like sacrifices in the woods, death, Satan, and all this other shenanigans. But it's just like, no, it's just, you know, just you enjoying music, talking about dumb things, and you know, after a while or so, once Mama Azathoth got to know my friends or so from this side of the dimension, right? Planet Earth, anyways, is what I'm saying. She was okay with it. She knew exactly who they were, what they are, what they exactly do, and then she had no problem whatsoever. It's basically you have to introduce, you know, your friends to your parents so they can, like, you know, because at the end of the day, they don't know them, like they don't know your friends, you know. But if you introduce your friends to your mom in some event or something or whatever, you know, then they get to know them and finds out that they are actually not that bad people at the end of the day. So yeah, so my mom never had an issue afterwards. So because she knew I was hanging out with the right people at the end of the day. Also, when women are there to take inspiration from nowadays as well, this is the kind of kid who looks up to rappers and heavy ratcheting ghetto behavior. Giving your kids heroes can help too. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, I'm surprised that her mom wasn't literally her hero or something like that, you know? Like, she didn't look up to her parents and be like, oh, you know how like a lot of people would be like, I want to be like my dad when I grow up, or when I want to be like my mom when I grow up. She's my hero, or so, because she's the best mom in the world, or she's the best dad, or he's the best dad in the world, you know? Like, I remember that was a thing or so all the way back then, before like YouTube was even a thing or so. But now in this day and age or so, you know, it's a little bit more different. So now you have to, like, you know, everyone wants to be a YouTuber, everyone wants to be a live streamer, everybody wants to be a content creator, you know? It's now different now, but you have to but the parent also has to step in and say, look, these are the things that happens if you want to be those kinds of things. You got to prepare. If you're passionate to be a content creator, just do literally what one of my friends did or so. Like, he told me his childhood story or so, that like he wanted to get into music, right? He wanted to make music, he wanted to do all this other stuff. Literally his dad literally pressured him on deadlines, timelines, and everything, to be like, you need to make a song here at this time and blah 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 blah. Basically, like, treat him as an actual worker, so he understands how the field is of making music in general. And then, you know, he still loves his dad, and he loved it that he did that to him. And now he is actually like an amazing person when it comes to making music and, you know, editing music. And, you know, he's a what is it? Music engineer or whatever you want to call it or so. But yeah, sound engineer or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's literally is what it is. You know, you just have to start, the parents have to start evolving or so with the actual things that are happening in the real world to raise their kids, you know? Like, especially on this social media time frame or so, where people are trying to get on social media. Everyone's trying to get that clout. Everyone wants to get, you know, everyone wants to get that specific thing. Personally, I don't know if I would let my kid personally have social media, because you want to know something? I'm just like, me personally, I'm just kind of like, why do you need social media for? You know, you can still look at these things, you know, without even having an account. You can just watch it, you know? But even then, I probably would supervise and be like, what are you watching? You know? And that's pretty much about it. You can't really control who your kids' heroes are, especially when parents are living the great life, or when the parents doesn't share much about their life. Either it be they don't have much to say, or too ashamed to mention it. For me, I have no problem. I don't mind mentioning my funny stories, my embarrassing stories, my great moments, my terrible moments, you know? If my kid comes up to me and asks me, hey mama, how was you when you were a kid? Then of course I'm gonna tell him how I was when I was a child, you know? That's pretty much how it is in general.
Figure to clamp down on these types of activities well before it even reaches this point is the reason for why this mother unfortunately passed away. And just to show you guys that this is not BS, there's no cap in this video right now. As you guys know, I like to keep it real with my opinions, very unfiltered. This is the mom's page. The videos of which I just shown in the beginning of this video are all here.
If I wasn't looked up as a hero, right? Let's say, for example, my kid says, insert famous person here, you know? They're my hero or whatnot, you know? I'd be like, okay, that's cool. That's not bad at all, you know? I'd be like, do you know what they did? You know, why you're interested in them, you know, and all this other stuff? I'd be like, yeah, because, you know, if they, you know, have whatever their answer is, it's just like, you know, do you want to be like that? And it's just, and they're like, yeah, I want to be like them. Okay, so then, you know, if they're actually like passionate of doing it or so, then yeah, of course I'll help them towards it, you know, towards that actual goal itself. You know, if they want to be, quote unquote, let's say they want to be a movie actor or something, you know, let's say like this person in the movie industry is my hero or whatever, you know. It's like, that's pretty much it, you know. Even then, when it comes to kids or so, it evolves over time, you know, who becomes their actual hero.
This was the little girl when she was much younger.
If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs.
This is the mom.
Bing bong. Tell Joe Bob. Hey yo, Ariana Grande, what's up?
Right, so this is about 3 years ago, so she would have been 13, probably turning 14 here. And you know, now people are saying, they're flooding to the TikTok page saying, isn't this the girl who used to dance on?
Well, for me specifically, I never had a hero to begin with. My mom was like my mom was good. I wouldn't say she's like an amazing hero or anything like that, but she's, you know, because she has flaws at the end of the day, but I still love her at the end of the day, you know, because she's the best mom I could ever have in the entire world.
Tommy. Wow. Somebody else said, you never know from a video what's going on behind closed doors. 16 in jail, really bad. Looks like I'm seeing people that know her in the comments, and this is sad for real.
I look 12.
Mommy, but you aren't 12.
But I look 12. This ain't cute to be looking 12 at my age. That's the point.
And that's just sad, as you could hear her daughter in the background. I don't know if this is dubbed or not, but clearly this is the mom right here. Whether it was the daughter's voice in the back or not, it's just incredibly sad to see people pass away because they didn't take the necessary precautions to aid and guide their children growing up. And
also another thing too as well, I don't know if they have a father figure in the. I doubt it because what we've seen or so. How did she got access to the gun? You know, that's the question to ask. You know, I assume she had a gun, but I assume it wasn't secured in an actual proper place, and the kid got into it. You know, and well, what do you expect?
Ultimately, one day, those children, for whatever reason, just so happen to turn on the person that gave birth to you and kill them is crazy. And now I'm on her Instagram page by the name of Itty Bitty Pretty Nia or Naya. And as you can see, she was out here just, you know, trying to be grown, you know, and she's smoking too, tatted, pierced.
She's smoking? Oh, hell no, dude. Hell no. If Mama Azathoth saw me doing this shit, oh my god, Chad, you would not hear me for the next 30 millennia. You would not hear from me in like fucking for who knows how long. You guys would never hear from me ever again for quite a long time.
Up smoking a blunt, you know what it is. Like, this is just it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
man.
Just weird to act sexually at the age of 16. I just find it so like weird, you know. It's just jarring. It's just weird. It's just like, why? It's like, why were you doing why are you doing these kinds of things, you know? It makes no sense.
No 16-year-old girl should be out here posting content like this. Somebody in the comment section said, taking out your dukes is crazy for real. It should never get to that point. People are now commenting heart emoji, broken heart emoji. You know, people are saying, so it's true. Somebody said it's on the news. It gotta be. Somebody said, why kill your mama? That's a real question. Why? You know, she was out here posting more content like this at this was, I think, like, I don't know, earlier this year, so she had to be 15, 16. Like, good God. First of all, she has God first. I think chapter 21 verse 6. Like, how do you have God in your bio and literally end up sending your own mom to God by your own hands? Here in a few videos I'm seeing, she has loads and loads of cash. Loads.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? She's trying to be the next little Tay, basically.
It's a bread, of which I don't know how you get access to at 15. You know, she's very happy about it. In another video here, you know, she's flexing, flaunting her money. I don't know where this cash came from. This is 2024, by the way, so she had to be just turning 16 or 15. I'm hearing rumors and speculation, though, that people are saying that her own mother was potentially selling her in a very illegal way. I'm not going to say.
Excuse me? Allegedly? Goddamn, dude.
Anything beyond that, because we know what selling means. This was somebody having a conversation under this photo. Maybe that's where some of that money came from. I don't know. People are saying, yeah, she was a little grown. I can't say that. That couldn't get her way. Somebody else said, damn, she got grown man time. I don't know what that specifically means. You can use context clues.
All I gotta say is she's gonna age very terribly. That's it. She's really gonna age very terribly.
It all lines up. It's crazy how in one moment a few years ago you could be dancing with your little girl. Everything is happy and peachy. You're fun, you're loving, you're basically friends. And then in the next moment, you end up on the news with neighbors literally talking about your death.
Galveston police descending on Avenue Q near 52nd Street last night after neighbors heard multiple gunshots. Investigators say a 34-year-old woman identified as Tia Moya Moore was found shot at a home. She was taken to the hospital where she died. According to police, police, witnesses told them the suspect was Moore's 16-year-old daughter. Have you noticed any previous issues at the home?
No.
That's what makes the shooting all the more surprising for neighbor Graciela Molina, who lives across the street. She says she was checking her mail last night when she heard yelling.
She was screaming. She was screaming. And I hear boom, 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 boom. Like, I hear 5.
As you just heard from the neighbor, this young old lady said she was going out to get her mail last night and she heard boom, 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 boom.
Well, she heard yelling first, then boom, boom, boom.
Corroborates with the reporting I've seen. They said
So I assume there was some kind of altercation that was happening between them that heated up or so to the term that she decided to take her own mother's life. Which, number one, that should never be the thing. Alright? No matter what heated discussion is not over someone's life.
based on what I heard, she shot her mom like in the arm, in the chest, and somewhere between 4 and 8 shots rang off before Naya or Nia dropped the gun and ran out the house.
Bullet holes visible in the walls of the home and other nearby houses. This neighbor says he was startled by the gunfire.
Yes, I was in the kitchen and I hear the shots and they come out and then all the police cars.
Galveston police say they were told the 16-year-old ran from the home after the shooting, but as they were processing the scene, she came back and was taken into custody.
This area is pretty calm. There's not really that. This street is kind of busy, but it's still calm here.
Cecily Henderson with the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County says when it comes to avoiding family violence, communication is key. What can parents and kids do to talk to each other to avoid it getting to this point?
Right. De-escalation techniques, keep talking to your kids.
Yeah, it's called pulling out the belt. For being little shitheads, you know? Or yeet them in the void. That's my method of what I'm gonna do or so.
Even if they don't want to talk to you, just keep going back and back.
So basically, soft parenting. Listen, man, I'm not a fan of soft parenting. And also, just so you guys know that the story's accurate and that this is, like, obviously a part of the story, 35-year-old Tiamoya Moore, right? Obviously, in the article attached to the website with the video showing the neighbors and everything. And of course, it corroborates with the TikTok page. We all just saw the Tiamoya right here, her a few years ago dancing with her daughter, and now she's gone. It's funny to me, too. Not really funny, but sarcastically, because people are saying this can't be the same daughter. It is. It is. People grow up, they change, you know, they look different as they age. And the thing is, and this may hurt some feelings, I'm gonna be unfiltered here, I'm not a fan of soft parenting. What I am a fan of, though, is preventative parenting. The values and morals and traditions and cultures of which should be in your child need to be instilled from the...
Well, let's call it a spade a spade. Y'all raising wild animals, y'all letting them babies do and consume everything and think it's cute. Y'all letting them go to the NBA Young Boys concert, sing and dance to Sexy Red. Y'all not monitoring them phones and y'all not intentionally raising them. Sorry to this woman shaking my head. Well, this person's not wrong at the end of the day, you know?
Ages of 0 to 7. Those are some of the most important years of a child's life where they're absorbing all the information in the world. And those formative years are so...
Yeah, because kids are very, like, they absorb a lot of, like, stuff or so. They're like sponges or so, you know? Like, kids, like, absorb everything. Like, everything they see, everything they hear, all this other stuff, you know?
Important that it quite literally shapes the personality and the person they may become for the rest of their lives. As this person perfectly states in the comment section of this video, they say, well, let's call a spade a spade. Y'all are raising wild animals. Y'all letting them babies do and consume everything and think it's cute. Y'all letting them go to NBA YoungBoy concerts, sing and dance to...
I have no idea what's an NBA Young concert. I've never heard of it, so...
Sexy Red. You guys are not monitoring them phones and y'all are not intentionally raising them. Sorry to this woman, shake my head. And that perfectly summed it up. Another comment below said, to kind of add on to what he was saying, this young lady said, I sat next to a family at a restaurant yesterday and the young girl had a stinky attitude from the jump. I give her maybe 13, 14. Well, I was close enough to hear this. She said, and I quote, I should have just cursed the MFer out for getting me the wrong thing. Mind you, that is a child at 13 to 14.
Whoa, excuse me? At 13 to 14 years of age? Oh my lord. Yeah, no. If my mom heard me say that, she'd slap me in the mouth.
14 years old. And the original commenter responded back by saying, see what I'm saying? I see stuff like this every day. I see it in my own family. These new parents let the children do and say whatever and be shocked they're raising degenerates. Pretty much basically sums up the entire situation with kids becoming radicalized and maniacal and sociopathic at such an early age, to the point to where they would kill their own parents.
Oh, he's a rapper? Really? No, I did not know that. Like I said, I don't really listen to the new day and age of rappers.
Because if you can kill your own mother, bro, it's pretty much GG's for everybody else. Nobody is safe in this world if you can actually somehow, in some way, get into an argument with your own mother because you probably have a boyfriend you want to go out, hang with, chill and relax and do whatever, you know. You want to go party, return at 2 a.m. in the morning. At 16, you're still in high school. You want to be out here probably doing a whole bunch of illegal activity online. As we can see with all the money she was getting from somewhere, it had to be coming from somewhere. You know, this type of money in a 15-year-old young woman's hands just doesn't come from anywhere, right? Apparently she was a hairstylist, as according to her bio, but we all know in this particular space that could mean anything. What young girls on the internet in this day and age do for money. Not going to be getting into the specifics, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? Also, if you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even though I don't post on there, Snap, I don't care. Want you guys to
Yeah, for me, I was raised a little bit more differently. Well, me and my older sibling or so were raised differently. My younger sibling, I wouldn't say she was spoiled or anything like that, but she did have some hardship or so from mama, but nothing between like me and my older brother. Even though like yeah, she was raised with us or so, but like the problem is like mama was looking at us the most because we were the oldest and we were the leading ones, you know, towards our younger sister. So it was a little bit different towards us in general. Like at the end of the day, right? Like we grew like even to this day or so, we still remember so that literally like depression is just made up, you know. Depression isn't real, you know. And you know, that's what mama told us or so. Is like that's something that's just made up. That's not even real, you know. Like mama was like all of the mental illness stuff, because most of them did not really exist with us or so. Like the whole ADHD, the whole you know, whatever other shenanigans or whatnot, right? Just like those are made up. Those aren't real. So yeah, and that's pretty much how it is, you know. I mean, it's just like I'm like that's just how we were in general. Compared to my younger sister, depression did hit her. I don't know if she's still depressed now, but or she has some depression moments, but like for us, it was weird for us, me and my older brother, because it's like, wait, our sister is depressed? Because we were just kind of like looking at each other. It was just kind of like, huh, you know. But yeah, anyways, that's another story for another time. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, soft parenting is definitely not a thing in general that you should be doing to your kids. You should be a little stricter on them, especially when they're young, because they like to absorb things. So if you're having them always on social media, always on the phone, always this and always that, then, you know, what do you expect, you know? But yeah, I would be personally, I'd be careful. I'd be curious to see once I become a parent or so, to see what happens. You know, but like at the same time, I'm gonna raise them the way how my mom raised me, but not exactly the same. Just a few tweaks here and there and everything like that. So, because we were raised like pretty much like, kind of like stone cold when it comes to like a lot of things in general. So, but yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, my condolences to the mom as well. But yeah, just, you know, be an actual good parent and be on top of your kids, you know, because you don't want to end up like this, to be honest. So yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace.